can see, DAMNIT wins that first battle fairly easily, no problems at all, and he starts to push onto Victor's base. At this point, we have to assume the British player has a pretty stable economy going under him. He's probably sent, we've seen he sent the 700 wood. He's probably sent the 500. 5 more muskets from the barracks. That is, at 25 hit points, he just gets those 5 muskets out of there, saving the barracks. Stalling damage just enough to get that 5 muskets. And as 5 more muskets come, other barracks Dam's got explorers up there. Explorers come in. They're good meat shields to have all the fun. They've got the stun attack that, can stun a unit for, just momentarily, but anytime that your units aren't attacking, it's just absolutely phenomenal to have a unit that can stun. As we take a little bit look at the military count, military units are just about even, as both players have decided that they're going to go back. And now here we take our first look at DAMNIT's deck. I probably should have done this a little earlier. Certainly if you're playing in the game, you want to check a player's deck much earlier. Make sure you don't see any big surprise cards as we look at Victor's deck, which also has a very standard deck. Notice he's got all the musket upgrades. He's got both of the Age 2 musket hit point and the musket attack upgrade, as well as the musket 3 upgrade, the Age 3 musket upgrade. So we'll probably see that going with a very musket heavy game, and looking to make use of the very strong British muskets, the very strong upgrades that they have. Now we see that Victor doesn't quite feel confident enough with his force to push. He's probably not quite sure whether or not DAMNIT is aging, as we see DAMNIT is indeed aging with the Taj Mahal. You can see he's got at least two villagers building there. If you look at the map a little bit, you can see that DAMNIT kind of needs to make things happen here a little bit. He's running a little lower on hunts. Victor is able to hunt just freely out in the middle of the map, and that's one thing that map control gives you. Having map control, if you're Dutch, maybe Japan, map control, it's not huge, but for a very economically booming civ such as Brits, which needs a lot of resources to keep their army going, a lot of wood, a lot of food to keep all these villagers pumping out. It's good to have map control, as Victor once again pushes with his very large army now of muskets and pushes on to DAMNIT's Agrifort. And the Agrifort will go down here with a slight hit point nerf and range decrease, I believe. Quite strong as it used to be. Still is great for buying himself some time as he ages, and it's just a good wonder. It's a sturdy Age 2 wonder. I'm not sure that I would age up with it to any other age but Age 2, because simply the fact that there's so many better options. You see DAMNIT's opting for the Taj Mahal here, which gives him the ceasefire ability, and also gives him considerable control on aging up. So Victor will continue to push on these houses, maybe looking to house DAMNIT. He certainly doesn't want, the 7 Ermies, or, the 7 Ermie card is just an absolutely phenomenal card that DAMNIT can ship in Age 3. But DAMNIT opts for a little bit different of a strategy. Once again, and we'll soon see the Thuggies making a reappearance. So here you can see Victor has gone back to avoid town city fire, town center fire from the town center while the ceasefire is going, as his units cannot attack, but building units can attack. I'm not quite sure if that's by design or if that's just a bug, but I've always actually kind of wondered that, whether or not ceasefire should really mean ceasefire, yet you got buildings and towers just plunked away. So here Victor is going back to push once again with his muskets onto his houses. You can see the scores. Victor right now is at 164, DAMNIT is 122. So Victor's got certainly a large common building behind him. I mean, definitely by now, both players have probably got the full market upgrades, you know, not only the hunting dogs, the game saw, placer mines, you know, the first round, but definitely probably field traps, alligation, second round of bigger and better upgrades, as DAMNIT has now built a consulate as well, chosen with the British Empire. And here we see these which is just absolutely phenomenal. But certainly, DAMNIT now with the upper hand. As you look at the scores, have swung around a little bit to 143 to 133. One thing that you see DAMNIT doing here, sure, catamarans aren't the best warships, but I guess they're still technically warships, is he's gathering resources with his warships. I see a lot of players, you know, they'll send the 2 caravel shipment, maybe a frigate, or definitely caravels, and they, after they've, you know, made sure they have water, or, you know, even canoes, say you're taking water with canoes, you know, sure, they're not best at gathering resources, but certainly any little amount of resources is better than no resources. So you can see that DAMNIT is using some of those catamarans just to get a little bit of extra resources, as now he is, he's won that battle at the town center, and up to this point, Victor had overwhelmingly controlled most of the map. I mean, you can see by the mini-map that Victor has just pretty much hunted and mined anywhere he pleases. But now DAMNIT is stepping out a little bit and getting a little bit more map control as he puts up a second town center and is going to start to boom on this, what looks like one of the last hunts on the map. And so both players are trying to gather here, but you just simply can't gather under another player's town center with that 2 times multiplier. I know a full up town center 1 hits a villager, so you know, it's just impossible to gather underneath an enemy's town center. It's just not feasible. So Victor goes back, and as you look at the mini-map, he's pretty much exhausted all hunts. He's got one little tiny hunt of, looks like moose up there between the top lake and the little middle lake. As Victor says, seriously, what the fuck are those units? And sorry for the language if someone is